All right, yesterday was quite the day, and today we're diving back in, and we're diving farther than we did the first time because there are a lot of small details that I missed in some of these images, of course, that were leaked online from Anadius, so huge shout out to Anadius. Now, I know that it's very possible we might not actually receive dumbbells in The Sims 4, but it took me a minute to realize, oh wait, we don't have dumbbells in The Sims 4. Is this going to be a new interactive object that we receive, or is this just included here for promotional purposes? I don't know, with the way that EA advertises sometimes, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't included in the pack at all, but you know, I was concerned about the lack of actual activities and things to do. Like, they're introducing a bunch of new systems, yeah, I get that, but what else is going to be coming with this expansion pack? Like, I want new things to do while we are on dates. A new system to plan and have dates is definitely nice, but what is all of that if there is actually nothing new to do? We have a look at a brand new hairstyle coming with the pack. I love the little dinosaur plushie in the background. On the end table, we can see the heart bed, and in a closer look, we can see some new hoops. Heart-shaped hoops, I love those. We are finally getting some new tattoos, and I don't know how I didn't realize this when I was first looking through these pictures. I guess I was just so overwhelmed at just the fact that all of this information and all of these pictures were leaking, but we can have names tattooed on our Sims, and there's even another image where you can see that there are names crossed out. I'm not really surprised with the Create a Sim, the details in the pants, the quality is definitely there, but we definitely have to see if Sims are actually going to touch lips when they kiss. That has been a big pet peeve of mine with The Sims 4 for as long as I can remember. When they kiss, sometimes their lips touch, but sometimes there's literally a gap this big between their lips. So is there going to be a fix for all kissing interactions so that when they kiss, they are actually kissing? I sure hope so. We do know that there are 2 penthouse lots in this world, so I'm assuming that this world is going to be a mix of part city, part beach, since we already know that there is a beach and that we have our penthouse lot. So you can kind of see some high rises off to the back in this image here. Honestly, guys, it's only a matter of time until we actually get a view of the world. I mean, if this much is leaking this soon, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a world map screen within the coming weeks. Would not put it past whoever is putting this information out on the internet. I'm honestly shocked that the map didn't leak along with this stuff, since all of this would have been available in a blog post after announcement anyway. So here's that shot that I was telling you guys about earlier. Crossing out people's names is crazy. I love that though. I really love that. I love the hairstyle and the little shaved heart on the side, the dripping heart neon light on the wall. We already talked about the eyelashes. I'm assuming we're getting some sort of eyelash overhaul. I'm hoping that that is coming with the base game. I did see a tweet online from Sematically. When the Happy at Home event launched, Sematically thought that that was going to be the announcement, the eyelashes, but it wasn't. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a base game thing. Of course, coming before the release of the expansion pack. Now in this next image, there is a lot going on. Notice the bear rug. If you're familiar with The Sims Bustin' Out, this looks to be the same exact rug that came with The Sims Bustin' Out. And the Sims team is really going crazy with the neon lights in the back. I love the different variations of that, and what I'm assuming is something a part of the brand new Love Consultant career. There's a little certification with a heart on it in the background. So I'm assuming that is something that your Sim is going to earn as they progress through the career. How exotic are these outfits going to be? Because they made it pretty obvious that your Sims are going to be able to role play with this expansion pack. One thing that I can't wait to see is how Wicked Whims is going to integrate with this. Like, what kind of custom outfits are we going to be adding? Because I'm sure this pack is not going to come with everything, but with mods and custom content. I can't even begin to imagine the stuff that we're going to see. Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting, I'll tell you that. There's a small chair in the corner that's kind of reminding me of the Lips sofa, so I wonder if that's going to be making a return as well. There is a shot of the suitcase that has clothes in it, so I'm assuming that is going to be an interactive object. Like that's going to be the object that you click on to change into your costumes. That's what they're calling them. It isn't called roleplay specifically, but we all know what this is alluding to. I also want to take a minute to express how beautiful this wall mural is, and I love that there are even some additions to the wall mural on the right hand side. So I'm assuming that you're going to be able to go up and actually draw on it. I'm really hoping that that is a part of the gameplay, being able to add your love story, your Sims's own personal story to that mural, and maybe, you know, seeing different Sims around the city also adding to it as well. I also noticed it looks like little floor lights in front of the mural too, so this is going to be beautiful when it's lit up at night. I can't wait to see screenshots of that. At least we have one sign of a new activity with the expansion pack. They're all hanging around playing a game of cards, of course, one with the woohoo symbol on it, so that's going to be pretty fun to explore. The little chicken neon light is really cute, but I'm noticing in the background there's a poster with a guitar on it, and of course the first thing my mind goes to is a bands pack. I know that that is a highly requested pack amongst many Simmers, something a lot of us have been wanting for a while. Some sort of pack about bands. I don't know if it would end up being an expansion pack or a game pack, but the second I saw that, I thought that that was some sort of hint or clue that maybe it's coming down the line. I don't think something like that would be a part of this expansion pack, but hopefully that's something that we see in the future. So I want to talk a little bit more about this whole gallery thing. So with Cupid's Corner, you actually have the ability to, I guess, see anyone on the gallery when you're looking for a match for your Sim. Now, this kind of worries me a little bit. If we can match with anyone on the gallery, if there are Sims that are wearing clothes that you don't own because it's a pack you haven't purchased, are you going to download them and they're going to be half naked, or are they going to have outfit replacements? I think that that could end up becoming pretty messy, honestly, and just this whole system kind of scares me. It reminds me a lot of My Wedding Stories, and that was an absolute disaster when it launched. Nothing worked the way it was supposed to, and I am just kind of scared that this is going to introduce a lot of issues into The Sims 4. I mean, EA doesn't have the best track record with implementing systems and having them actually work the way that they're supposed to work, you know? I also really hope that age preference and sexual orientation aren't the only ways to filter on Cupid's Corner. I definitely think there should be a lot more involved in that in terms of filters or factors. As you know, in real life, on real dating sites like Tinder and Hinge, there are so many different ways that you can look and filter through to find a partner. So I'm going to assume that that's not all, because that absolutely cannot be, because that isn't really super in-depth in my opinion. But I really do like the concept of that, and I'm just overall very happy that online dating is finally in The Sims 4. We've waited long enough for that. As far as Sims not interrupting your date unless you invite them into your conversation, it sounds lovely on paper, but I'm finding it kind of hard to believe that that is going to actually work the way it's intended to. Again, going back to My Wedding Stories, if you watched my stream of that, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had the absolute worst experience with My Wedding Disaster at first. It was a literal nightmare. None of the Sims were doing anything that they were supposed to do. Sims wouldn't sit down and keep their ass glued in the chair. They kept getting up. They came to the wedding dressed in jeans. Nobody was following the dress code I had set for the wedding. So I am finding it a little hard to believe that Sims aren't actually going to just join in on the conversation. It sounds nice on paper, but I'm going to have to see it working and see it working correctly in order to believe it. I'm sorry, The Sims team. There has just been too negative of a track record when it comes to things like this, but it really does sound good on paper. So the costume box is that suitcase looking thing from that one screenshot. I'm assuming that is going to be an interactive object. Again, I cannot wait to see what mod creators use with this and all the different CC outfits that your Sims will be able to role play with. I'm sure the stuff that's going to come with it's going to be really cool, but there are going to be some wild things with that box. I cannot wait to see what the community cooks up with that one. I also love how they call it a grown-up costume box. You know, the kids have their own, but the grown-ups, oh no, this is something different. This is something much different. So the romantic blanket, this is what I want to know. So we saw the bear rug. It looks to be the same exact one that came with the Bustin' Out Sims game from ages ago. So is that the same thing as the romantic blanket, or are they completely different things? I'm going to assume that that rug or blanket or whatever it is going to have different swatches so you can change it to different things, but is that considered the romantic blanket? Because usually in the images, they're going to show you the main selling points of the pack, and that's the only thing in any of those images that even remotely resembles a blanket, even though it technically isn't a blanket, it's a rug. So that's what I want to know. Are they the same thing? Are they different? Hey, the good thing about this blanket is that it is portable, so I'm assuming that you will be able to place it in your inventories and take it out to a public venue if you want. One part that really confused me were the turn-ons and turn-offs. You know, they talk about how Sims are attracted to each other will influence their behavior, so they can become more or less attracted as they learn about each other's turn-offs. But under the Cupid's Corner paragraph, it doesn't mention anything about having turn-ons or turn-offs listed on your actual dating profile. So I'm hoping that that is something that is included there, because if not, then that is definitely a huge missed opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that is not going to be a thing. I don't know, just thinking about it, that system sounds really complex. Having a whole dating profile, including turn-ons and turn-offs with activities, characteristics, fashion, romance style, all of those things, like that's a lot of factors. And if they are included on Cupid's Corner, I just feel like it is going to be a My Wedding Story situation where it just doesn't listen to your preferences at all, and it's just going to be a hot mess. I have very low hopes with that, and I hate the fact that I have low hopes with that, but that's just how I feel. I really need to be proven wrong with that. I have to see it working in real time, and I have to see it working correctly. So there was one comment on my video from yesterday talking about how the new traits are basically just reworked versions of romantic and non-committal, and I didn't even really think of it like that. So now my question is, how are these new traits, romantically reserved and love bug, how are they going to differ from the traits that we already have? Like, how is love bug going to be different from romantic? Can I include both of those traits? Are they going to benefit each other if I have one over the other? What is the difference? Is there going to be an overhaul for the original romantic trait? As far as the Paragon partner aspiration, is this basically the Sims team's way of confirming polyamory in The Sims 4? The term itself isn't used once in any of these descriptions, but it's sounding like we're getting that in The Sims 4. Build happy relationships with more than one partner. Is that more than one partner or more than one partner at a time? You know, they don't really specifically list that. So I guess I don't want to say that polyamory is confirmed, but it's sounding like it's a possibility. If there is going to be any pack that introduces that or any patch, it is definitely this one. I personally feel like that is something that they should add with the free patch, but then just have the aspiration that further explores it be a part of the expansion. If that is truly what's going to happen, I think that is how they're going to introduce it. Locking polyamory behind an expansion pack feels kind of weird, but I wouldn't put it past them. I'm a little disappointed about the romance consultant career. It is a 10-level career, but it is off screen. I was kind of hoping that this would be an active career with active goals, and you actually had to get out, talk to Sims, and make things happen. But unfortunately, this is going to be a rabbit hole career. Hey, on the bright side, you do unlock new interactions though, when they list them here. Give unsolicited love advice, gush about love, share relationships, satisfaction tips, and propose potential match. So I guess you can kind of take things that you learn from this rabbit hole career outside of it, but that's probably as far as it's going to extend. I do like the new lot trait though, singles hangout, though I do wish they would have added a second one for couples. It would be cool if there was a couples hangout where everyone just came with their couples, so you can make like a couples bar, a couples club. I don't know if that's something that could eventually be modded in, but singles hangout does sound nice. On one of the official renders, we do have a look at the blanket. You can see it's red, but I just wonder if this is the same thing as the bear rug, but just in a different swatch. That's really the only time other than here on this render that we've seen anything that could resemble that. So are there different swatches? Are there interactions available only on that rug, or can you perform them off that rug? I have lots of questions about that. Share your thoughts below on this expansion pack and what you guys think of all the information that we know of so far. And it's actually coming pretty soon, the official announcement that is. I mean, just looking at my calendar, it's exactly 1 week from today. So according to the leaks, it says that we're going to be receiving our announcement on the 27th of June. So we're likely going to see the first reveal trailer, and we'll likely see the blog post that has all of this information here that we've been talking about for the past 2 days. That will also likely be included there. Honestly, I was thinking about going live to talk about all of that stuff then, but since we're already going through it now, I might not. But of course, I'll still react to the trailer because the trailer is probably going to show off a lot of different stuff than we see here from these leaked images and from this information that's provided. Share your thoughts below on all of this. If you guys are excited, if you're skeptical, and honestly, if you're skeptical, you have every right to be skeptical. EA does not have the best track record with expansion packs, at least in my opinion, from the past couple of expansion packs with systems being broken, and even going over to game packs with My Wedding Stories. You know, they promised a lot and they didn't really follow through with all of it. A lot of it is still kind of broken to this day. It's never been fully fixed, and at launch it was an absolute nightmare, and it shouldn't have even been released when it was, in my opinion. So if you're pretty skeptical about the new online dating system and all of that stuff, you have every right to be. I just hope that things actually function properly, things have been tested thoroughly, and we won't know for sure until we see actual gameplay. And of course, when they have the deep dive stream, because there's likely going to be a deep dive stream for this, I cannot wait to watch that, and I just pray that it is not a nightmare. That is all for me. Share your thoughts below on all of this. Thank you guys for clicking and watching. Take care and happy life simming. Bye guys.